40% site-wide today.
You need this. Trust me.
Some people just can't. Well, actually, some liberal people just can't take a hint. What makes them think that that like proud conservatives would take back statements? I mean, like they want us to apologize for everything. Sometimes when there's nothing, actually every time when there's nothing to be sorry for. You probably remember this ad from a couple months ago.
But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has great jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Sydney Sweeney got so much backlash for that ad. For what? Because she said she had good genes? It was actually because it was a good-looking woman that had a successful ad, and the left doesn't have any good-looking women, so they were just angry. So now in a new interview with GQ, her interviewer wanted her to apologize and feel bad and take it back or whatever. Sydney Sweeney's response was definitely awesome. Roll it.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Just look at the smugness on her face. Oh, you really should apologize. No, shut up. Give her the middle finger and move on. Republican strategist Cliff Maloney and host of Mary Walter Radio, Mary Walter. Look, Mary, this is how you debate.
Well, first of all, I don't mean to correct you, but the left does have good-looking women. Dylan Mulvaney is the best-looking woman that the Democrats have.
Okay, fair point. But seriously, Cliff, in this whole thing, it's like Republicans for so long have been like, oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry I offended you. Like, look, I said something on the radio, 15 years ago, and I did the apology thing. And then, you know what it did? It got me more problems. So I was like, you know what? Now I'm not sorry.
Yeah, look, Sydney Sweeney is a saint. This is what we need to be doing. You need to push back, right? When these woke folks come after you, her reaction is exactly right. No, we're done with the nonsense. I'm not going to apologize for something that I'm not sorry about. And apologizing, Carl, as you learn, when you apologize, they just triple down. It's never good enough. And Sydney Sweeney in this interview made it very clear. We can all just say no and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so I got to get to this. The Condé Nast announced that Teen Vogue will go under Vogue.com. I don't even know what these things are, but my producers do. And because of that, they laid off some of their employees because they're merging and stuff like that. So some of the employees who still had a job thought it was, they'd take it upon them to, take a stand. Watch this.
So everyone should go back to your workplace.
I work here.
You dismiss us instead of talk to us.
You told us that we have to come work in person here 4 days a week. This is our workplace now.
I've directed you back to your workplace.
Is that a good answer, guys?
Absolutely not. Come on, Stan.
That's not a really good answer, Stan.
Stan, these are here.
About our colleagues.
Yeah.
We're
concerned about our company. You're disengaging with the employees who work here.
So basically a bunch of entitled employees, Mary Walter, were like, you can't fire people. We're going to take a stand. And then they protested outside the HR office, and HR was like, okay, you're all fired.
Yeah, first of all, I partially feel sorry for this age group because during COVID, a lot of them, were working, but they were all working remotely. A lot of them, like my nieces, their very first job was remote. So they never learned how to interact in an office, right? Like they didn't learn the workings, that part of it. And then when they did go back to work, it was maybe 2 days a week and you only saw your team. So I think that part of that is to blame here. But otherwise, no, this is totally ridiculous. And I'm glad he fired them all. But if he was smart, if he wanted to get rid of them, he just should have taken a bunch of Lunchables and thrown them in the hall, and they all would have chased after them, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, like apple sauce or something like that. All right, Cliff, remember when Ma'am Danny over the summer during the primary debate said this?
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Well, he's full of it because this morning yesterday he went to Puerto Rico just breaking his promise just 2 days after winning the election.
Well, look, this is what socialists do, right? They promise the world and they deliver none of it. I mean, whatever they're telling you, usually what they act or what they do is the opposite. And look, I really feel bad for New York City. I mean, this guy, an avowed socialist, is now in office. And look, they're going to have to deal with the repercussions. And Carl, I'm sorry. I mean, I know a lot of folks we know are in New York City, but they're going to have to deal with the consequences of somebody that says one thing and then acts in a very different way, which he just did by coming back on what he said would be his first visit.
Mary Walter?
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. This is exactly what they do. Rules for thee, but not for me. And I even posted about this today. And of course, everything I got from the left, if they weren't swearing at me or calling me names or, screaming and yelling, is that, he just ran a really hard campaign. He was running really hard. So he needs some time off.
Yeah.
So they're just going to make
Except
excuses
it's a work trip.
for it.
It's a work trip.
Exactly.
It's just people, they just make it up as they go along. Cliff, Mary, we appreciate
100%.
it. All right, coming up, a major development in the J6 pipe bomb investigation. It is unbelievable. We got a former Capitol Police Chief, Stephen Sun, coming up next to break this all down.
I'm Michael Savage, and I was conservative before conservative was cool. Do you realize how crazy the liberals in this country have become? I do. You want to get me started today? I'll get started. Watch Michael Savage and the Savage Nation every Sunday night.
Have you compared your Medicare plan recently? With eHealth, you can compare Medicare plans side by side